What on earth? Where were you?
Probably the worst decision ever, dude. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are here at the new Goonzquad garage. And as you guys seen in the previous video, we finally got this whole entire building prepped for that insulation and the sheet metal. There's actually one little thing that we got to do, but you know what? We're not actually going to count that. It's these little braces that are going to take like 5 seconds to do. We're going to absolutely fly by that. But you know what? Today is the day that the insulation is actually going to get delivered. We got a semi truck right around the corner. He'll be here in about 15 minutes, and we're just going to probably go ahead and unload it right here. I think for now, it honestly depends on what type of packaging it comes in. Maybe we'll even just go ahead and start storing it in the trailer. So I guess it just comes down to when he pulls up and we see what he got for us. You know what I mean?
If it's on pallets, we're just gonna drop him off in here because we might just get straight to work on that stuff right there.
Dude.
But dude, it's gonna be exciting, man, because it's gonna be a lot of insulation too, because we're wrapping this whole entire building up with insulation. And I mean, this is gonna be epic,
This is gonna be super epic, and we got some pretty thick stuff. I think the thicker stuff goes on the ceiling, which that's awesome news because it's gonna be really quiet when it rains. I know we had that issue back at our old Goonzquad garage. The original, dude, it was super loud when it rained. So this is definitely gonna quiet things up. And also on the walls, it's gonna be a little bit thinner. But you know what? We're still gonna do a little bit more research a little bit later, right before we continue like we always did, like we've been doing with this whole entire building.
This is all from YouTube right here, dude, and Google.
I'm telling you, man, this is some awesome stuff. But huge shout out to MBMI as well. They're giving us a bunch of support there as well. So we're super happy about that. But as of right now, I say we go ahead and fire up the skid steer over there, pull it up over here up front, wait for that semi truck to pull up and unload that sucker. Alrighty guys, so check this out. We finally unloaded all of our insulation right here. That right there took about an hour to do, but you know what? We got it kind of sorted out here and there, and I guess we're just gonna start off with what we first got right here, right behind me. And this right here is R19. This is basically the insulation for the roof, and as you can tell, there's no like film on it or anything. This is just like the regular insulation, the itchy stuff right there. You gotta be real careful with that. So before we go ahead, how are we gonna protect ourselves from the itchiness, man?
I don't know, man. I mean, long sleeves is a really big thing in gloves, and we wore shorts and short sleeves today, dude.
We might have to get like a full insulation suit or something like that. But
one of those paint suits or something like that?
Yeah, possibly. But it really just depends on how much we get done today, because we just did a bunch of research. Honestly, the last couple of hours we spent doing a bunch of phone calls, a bunch of research, a bunch of
YouTube videos,
a bunch of Google, just trying to figure this stuff out. And we know exactly where to start. We're gonna get started probably with the roof, which is kind of weird because you've seen a couple videos where some people get started with the actual walls first,
yeah,
right?
Some people get started with the walls, but we did call our building guys that actually sold us this building.
Technical support.
Yeah, technical support, and they said that you can get started with the roof first. That way, if it just rains or something like that, it'll be better for us, you know what I mean?
That's right, because you do not want this insulation to get wet, because when insulation gets wet, it's really hard for it to dry out, like unless you put it out.
And it causes moisture and stuff like that.
You do not want that.
Yeah, do not want that at all. And going back to this insulation, this is not the only insulation for the roof. We're actually going double insulation. That way we get a thick insulation on our ceiling, right?
That is right. We want that super amazing R value up there, and of course we want it to be nice and quiet as well. So this is actually what's gonna go first right here is this insulation. This is called R11 right here. So we're gonna roll out the R11 like from that side right there. So we're gonna probably start from that corner. We're gonna roll it all the way across that whole entire eave that peak right there, and it's gonna end up on that side. We're gonna do like a couple rolls, that way we don't get too far ahead of ourselves, because like you said, if the weather comes down, the rain or something, we don't want this insulation getting wet. And this is the perfect game plan right here to move in sections for us beginners. You know what I mean?
You basically put this stuff down first, and then you cross it with this stuff.
That's right.
Just doubling up on it, and then the roof panels, the actual metal panels, is what holds everything together.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and it's crazy because that roof panel is gonna like squish it together to those purlins right there, but that's just how it's done right there. So that's exactly what you have there. And once we get started, you'll kind of get a better idea of how this is gonna go if you really don't like kind of grasp it just yet.
It was pretty difficult to figure out, but as I'm thinking about it right now, I think it's gonna be actually pretty simple for the most part. It's just gonna be a ton of work.
Exactly. Yeah. At first, I was like, "Oh my goodness, where do we start?" But then after doing a little bit of research, a bunch of phone calls, we finally figured it out, and I think it's gonna be a pretty simple process. You know, we're gonna show you guys. So one of you guys is gonna build your own buildings one of these days.
I mean, somebody probably already building their building just by what we started. You know, just the metal, dude.
Who knows? But anyways, what we're moving on to next is the end wall right here. So we got two end walls. This is an end wall, and that is an end wall over there. This is the insulation for it, right? Is that end walls?
Yeah, I think so. And these are the side walls. The green tape is the sidewall insulation. I mean, we got a ton of insulation. I mean, there's like hundreds of rolls here.
Dude, this insulation, should we mention how much it costs?
Yeah, just go ahead.
$12,000 in insulation right here. But you know what? We opted for a little bit better insulation. That way we can have that proper igloo up in here.
Yeah, I mean, we are doing the full HVAC in this building, and it's going to be pretty pricey to even do that. So you want to keep the cost down with better insulation.
That's right, exactly. So we went ahead and went this route right here, but you know what? We are all ready to get started, and we're going to reveal to you guys the colors of our buildings now. I guess the roof is going to go first, so we're going to bring in some of the sheet metals, which it's all over the place. We got some over there, we got some over there, and I think we're just going to fork it. And are we going to work from the inside with a scissor lift, or what are we going to do?
Yeah, well, we're going to start with one wall or one side and with a scissor lift, and then I believe once we bolt that down, we have to get on top of the roof, and that's when we start walking.
And there's a bunch of tips and tricks that you actually got to do, and a few like certain ways that you got to move in order to like not like get ahead of yourself, because you still got to throw on gutters from the outside. So there's like a couple bolts you can't screw in and stuff like that.
Yeah, the end bolts, the end screws and stuff like that. There's tons. You'll definitely get the point of it once we start getting like one or two sheets down.
Exactly. So I say we just probably go ahead, dive right in. I say we go ahead, open up our first roll of insulation, crawl all the way up there, roll one of them suckers out, and roll some of that R19 insulation out, and hopefully get one of them sheet panels up there. Oh my goodness, what did we just get ourselves into?
Probably the worst decision ever, dude.
I don't know, man. It's a tough decision. This was a tough decision. This is an itchy situation as well,
yeah,
man.
Dude, probably 100%. If you're gonna be doing one of these metal buildings, don't do the insulation yourself, man. Let somebody do that. 100%, dude.
Definitely, but you know what? We already started, and do you think we're gonna finish?
Well, we're probably gonna have to now, dude.
We just might take our time with it because we're trying to figure out the groove, trying to figure out the rhythm, really. You know what I mean?
the roof is apparently gonna be the hardest part because we're crossing it this way, and on top of that, we're adding more insulation long ways, and we're gonna have to cut each individual piece and put it up there like we just did. And dude, that alone right there took all day to do. I mean, we had to like adjust it. That way we have the perfect little loop right there for the 6 inches of extra insulation to be on top of it. But you know what? We're just trying to figure it out at this point.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, we got it figured out basically right now. It's just now we gotta figure out how to make this move a lot faster because this is taking too long. And I think once we get at least 2 pieces of sheet metal up top, I think it's gonna make stuff faster, right?
Yeah, definitely. If we get 1 piece over there, 1 piece over there, and screw it down, I think we can go ahead and move to the top and work at the top of it. Then we can actually make the rolls easily roll out up top. Then we can set it out. I think it's gonna be a lot better that way, dude.
Definitely, but man, this is just crazy how we just got that figured out right there. Still a little bit more to figure out. I think we gotta like do like some sticky tape or some double-sided tape in a few sections.
Yeah.
And like the droop, we had to make sure the droop was just perfect. It can't be too much and too little.
Yeah,
you know what
but
I mean?
now since we did like a few 2 rolls right there, we kind of realize exactly how much droop we need. And dude, I mean, after this, it should be a lot easier. That's all I gotta say, dude. It's really sticky and itchy, but it should be a lot easier.
Definitely.
Dude.
So right now, what we're gonna do is actually dig into that pile over there of sheet metal. That's our roof. And what color is that sucker?
Our roof is gonna be white, just so it can reflect the sunlight, because it gets real hot here in the summertime, and we want it to just reflect all the heat for sure.
Yeah,
dude.
that's the smartest thing to do is actually go ahead and go with white, especially if you want to keep that thermal energy within, or the cool within, you know what I mean?
Definitely, for sure.
Or
So,
for it not to heat up too much.
yeah,
something
or
like
for
that.
it, whatever it is, white roof is always best, honestly,
Yep,
dude.
I think so too. Look at the building next door. They got white, so
They got white
it
all
must
the way
mean
around.
something.
It must mean we got to blend in, dude.
That's right. And anyways, so what we're going to move on to next is probably doing those 2 sheet metals up top.
Yep.
Just placing them so it doesn't fly away, and then
We'll probably screw them down too,
Screw 'em down?
because that sheet metal could fly away as well.
We'll
so,
probably throw a couple
yeah,
screws,
for
yeah.
sure. So,
but then after that, what are we going to do?
after that, dude, we gotta fight these bags right here. We gotta throw all these inside the trailer over there because, dude, I mean, we can't just leave them out here because it could rain or something like that. So we're gonna have to store all those suckers in there, and those things are not light, man. Those things right there are pretty dang heavy, dude.
But you know what? We're gonna have to manhandle them
Yes,
suckers,
sir.
and we're gonna stack them in a way where like the stuff that we're not gonna use goes furthest in the trailer,
Yep.
and just in a strategic way, really.
The roof stuff is gonna be at the beginning for sure, dude.
Yes, sir. So I say we go ahead and try to get those sheet metals up top, and then we'll store this stuff, and we'll probably call it a day.
Let's do it.
I tell you, man, this ain't for everybody.
That's what I gotta say, dude. Look at the new TRX
Dude.
shirt, man. It's destroyed, but I like it, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is probably the hardest we've ever worked on a single day, especially unloading that whole entire semi truck and then taking all that stuff by hand and
The
loading it up
hardest
in there.
physical work,
Physical,
dude.
yeah.
It was crazy, dude. It was a bunch of manpower, and you just had to use your muscle all day,
That's
dude.
right, but on top of that, we just got done doing that right there, which that turned out pretty dang nice. We threw 2 sheets up there. We didn't bolt it down because it feels pretty safe and sturdy.
Yeah.
Like the wind is not gonna take it away. Well, man, that's awesome. That's gonna look super clean once everything is done. And we might have to bring in some extra equipment to get this done. Who knows? So far, we've been working with the excavator and Big Bertha. Big Bertha is super sketchy. Excavator just kind of just like
Big
pushing
Bertha
over.
is just old, man. We're pushing
That's
her
true.
to the limit
That's
sometimes,
what I'm saying. We need
man.
to take her easy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's almost ready to croak over there. She's leaking all
Nah,
sorts of fluid.
dude. She's a Detroit, man. She'll last
That's
forever,
right.
man.
I think so too, but hopefully once we at least get a couple of those panels on the really top, we could actually start walking on it like you said earlier. Maybe it'll make things a lot easier. Still super sketchy up there because it's super high. I don't know, you were up there, you were crawling around like a dang ninja turtle.
Hi, man.
dude.
Once you get used to it, you just don't look down. But I believe we have a couple harnesses at the house. I think I have one. We can possibly get another one once we start working up on the roof and stuff like that. But it's not too steep. It's not a steep roof.
Yeah, exactly. The pitch is not too crazy. Pops, how you feeling? Man, Pops is the hardest worker in the whole entire place, man. I'm telling you. I don't know how he does it. That's probably where
I don't know
we
how
get it from.
he keeps up with us, man, because we're putting in work. I'm getting tired and he's still going,
That's
dude.
what I'm saying, man. So we're having a good old time out here, but you know what? I think we've done plenty for today, man. I don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow, if we're gonna take it easy. I know we don't like to take it easy, but sometimes it's best to rest.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Whatever
What you
pops
say?
up, you never know, dude.
Exactly. We got some epic things always on the loose. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow in the morning.
Alrighty guys, so it is the next day and we are just moving right along. As you can tell, we already screwed down 3 sheets of metal right here. And I mean, we had to get used to it. At first it was a little sketchy on the first sheet, or with just laying it on top of there, we were like shaking a little bit. But now, dude, we're basically just tap dancing up here, walking around, sliding up and down, just getting used to it. I mean, it's not really the steep of an angle to really worry about it, but you know what? We're good now, dude.
We are good. We are moving to the groove, and man, just having a good old time up here.
And learning how to do all this. I mean, we got a couple screws down, and then we had to get all the screws down. And dude, that's a lot of screws. That was like 1 bag of screws just for 3 sheets. And I mean, there's gonna be thousands of screws up here, dude.
But you know what? I think we're actually gonna get this done. So we were kind of, I will admit, we were kind of just like
hesitant a little bit.
Second guessing. But now it's gonna be a breeze rolling that insulation right there, dude.
So Big Bertha will probably roll up a roll of insulation, then we'll roll it out right here. Then we'll just easily slide it with the scissor lift right there. And dude, that's it, dude. It's easy after that,
It's gonna be super easy after that. But you know what? I don't know if we're gonna get any more done today because we got to move pretty quick. Because if you look down in that beautiful view right there,
dude, you see those mountains, man? That's amazing, dude. So there is a little bit of sprinkles going on the mountain, and that's what we're racing against, the rain right now. So it might rain here in like an hour or two. And what we're gonna do is probably just grab 2 more sheets, go throw one over that insulation over there, and throw one over this, and just cover it up. That way the rain don't get to it. But dude, imagine like putting up like a couch up here and just chilling, just looking at the mountains.
Dude, a little lawn chair, man.
Dude, instead of tailgating, the roof gating up here, dude. Put a little barbecue, have some hot dogs. What if you can build like a patio up here, if it's strong enough to build a patio up here?
I don't know. That's something we definitely need to look into.
Have a little latch door that pops open, dude. That'd be legit.
Dude, that would be so sweet.
Maybe, dude.
We'll think about that. Right now, we got plenty of work on our hands. So I say we go ahead and bring up those 2 sheets. Oh, and also, we can't forget somebody paid us a visit,
dude,
right?
The pups came back. After 2 weeks, they just came walking down the road. They got their food and water. They played a little bit. Walked away. Went about their business. So they'll probably be back a little bit later,
Most definitely, dude. But anyways, I say we go ahead, keep on moving, and probably try to wrap this sucker up, dude.
Let's do it.
right, so there you have it, guys. That's gonna be pretty much it for today. You know what? We knocked out a small portion of this building right there, but you know what? That was huge for us, and I feel like we conquered a lot, but you know what? I can't wait to conquer the whole entire thing, the whole entire roof, but we're gonna have to wait for some good weather because I believe we got rain coming in the next couple of days, so we might have a couple tricks up our sleeve. We'll move on to something else, something epic, of course, but that's gonna be pretty much it for today's video. If you guys have any tips and tricks, definitely drop it down below or email us or message us, reach out to us, whatever you gotta do. Let us know them tips and tricks. We'll greatly appreciate all that. But also make sure your post notifications are on so you don't miss out on anything. And also, if you want an inside scoop before YouTube, definitely give us a follow on Instagram at Goonzquad. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.